Okay na, sir, siguro. Ah, na-mute ka, sir. Paki-unmute, sir. Naka-mute ka, Sir Rudy.
Okay, akapera tayo.
Kantayin natin ulit. Sandali, ah.
Walang sound. Sounds mo sa paan. Good one.
May sounds na.
Wala din, Roy, eh. Wala pa pong sound. Mag-acapella na lang po siguro tayo.
Sorry. Bakit kaya hindi ko sounds, ano yung akapila na lang, sir. Bakit walang sounds yung ano ko?
Okay, so let us proceed. Grace filling me with
Golden nights,
your blessing divine. God give His
eternal life.
Perfectly rejoicing is mine. Glorious the sound
in my heart,
for my Father above.
Father,
Gratefully I give offering to Him. Okay, Sister Helen, can you open with a prayer?
Let us pray. Good evening to our most beloved Heavenly Parent, our victorious true parents of heaven and earth and humankind. Heavenly Parent, tonight we are gathered ourselves, Father, as brothers and sisters, to be in our class with Dr. Rudy Gonzalez. Heavenly Parent, we thank you so much for giving us this opportunity where we can study more and explore more further knowledge in order to ready ourselves in our mission in the future. I pray, Heavenly Parent, that you can give us the chance that we can enlighten our mind and our heart that whatever is the lesson that we are about to learn, Father, may it can give us uh, more inspiration, Heavenly Parent, as we embark our responsibility for the future. Father, we know that you need righteous leaders, righteous teachers, loving Heavenly Parent to lead this world. Father, we hope and pray that as we offer ourselves, you can trust us once more, Heavenly Parent. And I pray that you can use, Father, our elder brother, our Dr. Rudy Gonzalez, Father, to impart his knowledge upon us. Thank you, Heavenly Parent. I'd like to offer this prayer to you and to put it in my name. Helen Hidaka, Central Best Family, Jew.
Angie. Okay, good evening, brothers and sisters. Good evening, class. So, welcome to our class 203. So, that is the teacher and community school culture and organizational leadership. So, my task is to give you the two subjects, no, the 203 and 202. So, now we are going to start the 203, the teacher and community school culture and organizational leadership. Okay, next slide, please. So, the course focused on society as a context upon which the school had been established, educational philosophies that are related to the society as a foundation of schools, and shooting shall be emphasized further principles and theories on school culture, social and organizational leadership shall be included to prepare prospective teachers to become school leaders and managers. So in this course, in these subjects, we're going to tackle about the teacher, the relationship of the teacher with regards to the society, to the community, to the organization at the same time as a leader. No? So that means that this is very broad. Then we will be tackling, our task is to understand the educational philosophies. Okay? Any question with regard to this course description? Okay, next slides, please, Brother Roy. So our prior, the next one, lumagpas tayo. Okay, course objective, articulate the rudeness of education in the philosophy, socio-cultural, historical, legal, and political context. So in this regard, we are going to understand, no, the relationship of teacher, education, with the philosophy, with the socio-cultural, legal, and political context. Another thing is explain how cultural and global issues affect communication. So when we speak about communication here is more on social interaction with our stakeholders, with the LGUs, with our community. Then another thing, establish social school community partnership to enrich the learning environment and to strengthen communities' engagement in the educative process and skills. I think this is very important point, no? Na we have, I think it is also a triangle, no? First, the family, the school, and the community. So that means we must have a strong community linkage in order to process, no, to process the learning and teaching and learning process. Okay, another thing is link teaching and learnings to the experience. So as we discussed yesterday, no, according to one of your classmates says that experience is very important. So that means we are going to link the the course with our experience, interest, and aspiration of the wider school community and other stakeholders. And then another thing is create clear, coherent, and effective communication materials. No, when we speak effective communication materials, uh, communication with the LGUs, communication with the community, communication with the parents, communication with the students, the what do you call that, the materials, no, the instructional materials, all those things should be within the context of the teaching profession or the teaching process. Okay. Next slide, please, Brother Roy. So another thing to understand with regards to our course, demonstrate fulfillment of the professional obligation to uphold professional ethics, accountability, and transparency. So meaning to say, everything we do shall be transparent, shall have accountability, and then exercise professional ethics, and more importantly is our professional obligation. That is the reason in teaching process, it's very hard to absent, no? Unless that is emergency or very important. Unlike in the office, the paperwork will be just put it there, and then you can attend to that after several days. But in teaching, no, that means we have live people we are responsible every day. Then write and present academic papers using appropriate tone, style, convention, and reference style. So meaning to say, everything that all our paperworks, everything that we are doing should be in accordance with the teaching profession. That is academically sound. Okay. Then another thing is discuss intended learning outcomes, discuss the philosophical thought on education. So that means along the way, we are going to discuss the philosophical background, the philosophical history of a teaching profession or education. Next slide, please. So now we are going to tackle, then we will have some interaction with this. No, you are free to share your thought with regards to these different kinds of philosophies that involves in our educative process. So number one philosopher that we have is John Locke. No, John Locke, that is from 1632 to 1704. Basically, John Locke theories or John Locke philosophy is called empiricist education. For John Locke, education is not acquisition of knowledge contained in the great books, but learners do interact with concrete experience, comparing and reflecting on the same concrete experience. So that means, according to John Locke, as long as you have experience, then you will learn. Any reaction with this statement of John Locke, the philosophical statement of John Locke? Any reaction? So according to John Locke, education is not acquisition of knowledge contained in the great books, but learners do interact with concrete experience, comparing, reflecting the same concrete experience. So what is your idea about this? That John Locke theory, it is
Partially
experience.
true.
Yes, Roy?
Partially true.
Yes, no? That's it. That means experience, no? Experience is also important.
But it's not everything is an experience.
Yes. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so our knowledge is not only found in the textbook, and sometimes our life experiences is the one that contributes to the learning of our students. So hands-on activities and personal interaction as well. So practical experiences can provide insights that the theoretical knowledge from books cannot. So sometimes let's say for example, like, it doesn't mean that if you're old or young, your level of knowledge is different or on par. Sometimes younger is better than the older people because of their background experiences, on their what they learned from their hands-on, or sometimes the older one is not learned because they they are suppressed from their younger days. That's what I thought. Sometimes it plays like that.
Yes, so that's true. That means that is from the taken from the Bible. The last will be the first, and the first will be the last. No, I
Mm.
think sometimes, for example, I think most of us, when we hear the divine principle, all of us are our younger age. That means, I think, as I recall, 12 years old, no? 12 years old above, then they are going to be a missionaries, no? That means they are more open-minded, no? And then basically, all our education come from our experiences in the church. So I think that is true also for John Locke, no? Somehow, maybe if we can go with, maybe according to 50%, that is correct, that we need experience. Another idea?
Good evening, sir, and everyone.
Yes, go ahead.
Can I be
Sister
heard
Sylvia.
po?
Yes. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to agree with Sir Roy. It is actually partial because though it is very true that we learn from our actual experiences, and but it does not apply to all. Just like our other sister was talking about, there are new knowledge that we might not have been able to have experienced ourselves that may in ourselves as elder we are actually lacking of. So it does not apply to all. It's partial and very limited. This philosophical thought po.
Okay. So I think along the way we are going to discuss this, no? More importantly, I think on my
A
own
more
opinion, there must be an
a
holistic
wider and
education. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, Sister Sylvia. Okay, so I think that is number one, no? Number one philosophy, that education comes from experience. And another
Uh,
thing from her,
hello,
yes,
sir. Hello.
yes, Brother Julius, go ahead.
Okay. I think also books is important. Kasi um, yung books kasi galing din sa experience nung writer. Eh. So one factor yun siya. But then
Yes, beautiful insight.
to complete that guide, it should be in experience. Doon ka talaga you can really learn more and perfect through experience. And not only that, great minds, if you are many, you have to collaborate. Very important to compare, collaborate with each other. So it can be the good sides or everything can be perfected. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. So that's true. That means, of course, knowledge is not only bound by experience, but also coming from the books, as you said, that is also written based on the experience. I think number one there is the gravity, no? Gravity is comes from the experience of Isaac Newton, no? And then written in the books and learned by the students. So that means, and actually that is true. Another thing, okay, another is Herbert Spencer. That is from 1820 to 1903. That is utilitarian education. No, when we speak about utilitarian, that is something that connotes, no? I think we go on first. Spencer educational theory is called social Darwinism, his concept of survival of the fittest, that human development had gone through an evolutionary series of stages. No? Evolutionary stages. So what is your idea regarding this? Are you agree or disagree, or you have some comments?
Um, hello, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Actually, there is guidance from true parents about this because our school now is about more on competition. But true father said it should be collaboration, cooperation, not about someone will be excel than others, but it should be collaboration.
Yes, no? Yes. I think that is one thing that is how do you call that? Elaborate nowadays in the educational system. That collaboration, cooperation for greater knowledge, no? And that is not exactly a competition, but rather a collaboration. Another idea with regards to Spencer philosophies?
Yes, sir, can I?
Yes, Helen, go ahead.
Uh, in some ways, for Herbert Spencer, how to say, tama din siya kasi uh, education needs evolution. Is something like a lower level pa siya. And then as the years goes on, as the years evolve, and then education also develops until it arrives in this present time. So we are now in the digital age. So we cannot remain for what we have studied long before because we'll be left behind. So Herbert Spencer, in some ways, also he has this kind of idea na it really connotes with our present time. But about the evolution theory, about Darwinism, I think it is entirely different than than Spencer idea of evolution of field of education. Thank you.
Yes, okay, thank you, Sister Helen. So that's true, no? That means we don't need to remain. Nowadays, I think one way is we have to be flexible in our digital teaching and learning process. Okay, next slide, please, Brother Roy. Okay, so according still the follow-up for expenses from the more specialized activity. So according to Spencer, if you have an special activity, then you will learn, you will gain knowledge. Then another thing is through evolutionary process. That means you have to evolve. No, you have to evolve. Then curriculum aspect related to human survival. According to him, there must be a curriculum aspect related to human survival. I think that's another thing. But of course, in education, that is not exactly a way to compete, but rather is to collaborate. Then, not inclined to rote learning, is schooling be related to life activities needed to earn a living? Okay, any reflection or any reaction, especially with the following statement
Me, sir.
related? Yes, go ahead, Sister Sylvia.
Actually, it in in relation to the Spencer philosophical idea, it is not totally pointless because as we see, the present time is the byproduct of the trial and error kind of
Yes.
education that we had been through. Obviously, we are just very lucky to have had learned the divine principle, but the majority of the world per se, it
Yes,
might
yes.
sound like judgment, but this is the reality that I think I'm seeing from my perspective that our education is not perfect yet up to this moment. So in some way or another, it has a point, but it's not totally pointless. It has a point in a way, but just like what we knew and learned being unificationists, it is very partial. This philosophical study of
Yes, another thing. Sister Helen, are you going to share your idea with
education
regard to this?
is still partial.
Yes,
Therefore,
Sister
we
Mina.
Sir, pwede po.
Yes, yes. Okay, go ahead, Sister Mina.
Yeah. For me, what I understand from this Spencer is that tama po siya kasi tayo, ang sabi po kasi dito specialized activity. Kasi 'di ba po tayo, nagkakaroon tayo ng specialized in our courses pagdating sa education. Kasi meron na tayong mga courses na kailangang kuhanin doon sa gusto natin. Tapos, yung evolutionary, tama po yun kasi nag-evolve po yung curriculum natin. For me, yung curriculum ko dati sa EDUC is not exactly now the curriculum of this later of the latter po. And then yung learning po natin is inclined with the subject that we wanted to learn, with the course that we wanted to learn.
Tingnan yung kapatid mo.
Hindi ako
Okay, yes, no? I think that's true, no? That is the evolution of curriculum. That's part, no? I think from back now we have the matatag curriculum.
Yes po, yes po.
Ate Richie naman.
Mary Jane, you have something to share? Mary Jane? Let's take Sister Helen first.
Ah, no, Mary Jane. Mary Jane, maybe she has something to say.
Yes, yes, go ahead.
Teka po, sandali ko nagda-drive. Maya po sagot ako.
Okay, I want to share. Hello, sir.
Yes, yes, go ahead.
Regarding to Spencer's theory, just like Sister Melawa had said, that the evolution that Spencer is talking about perhaps is truly regarding the curriculum, because if education will not upgrade, so what will happen to the student? There will be no development. So as years goes on, of course there are new ideas and new concepts of teaching that must be shared to the students. So probably Spencer's talking about evolution of curriculum and not the evolution that Darwin has been speaking about.
Yeah, exactly po.
Yeah, thank you po.
Yes, okay. So according to your thought, that means education must evolve, no? Then,
Hello, sir.
okay, yes. Please take care. Yes, Brother Roy?
Itong last part, schooling be related to life activities needed to earn a living. Kasi, just like before, when we are in college, we studied Spanish. Imagine 2 years ka mag-study ng Spanish, hindi mo naman yun nagagamit. unlike dito, example dito sa sa Japan, senior high school, they have specific subjects na that what they want in na trabaho na gusto sa buhay nila. So naituro na yan sa yung mga skills sa senior high. When they graduate from senior high, they are ready to be absorbed sa mga company. So when they go to the company, alam na nila yung trabaho kasi sa senior high pa lang may na sila doon, may knowledge na sila kung ano yung trabahoin nila even after their senior high school. So the schooling here in Japan is really directed towards how the students can work, what work they will do, what company sila papasok. Yun ang pinag-aaralan nila when mag-senior high na. Kaya after mag-graduate yung mga estudyante, the company, they have required number of students na dapat nilang i-absorb. So lahat talaga magkaroon ng trabaho. I think yun din ang gawin natin sa Pilipinas, no?
Okay, so basically, the thought of Spencer is it must be relevant, no? Relevant for our survival. Example, that is schooling be related to life activities needed to earn a living. I think that is one important thing, no? Na if you are trying to be educated, that means, of course, it should be beneficial to us. Of course, from the viewpoint of divine principle, I think with the theory of education, I think we have the 3 H's, no, to consider: the heart, the hands, and the mind, no. So I think that's another thing. Maybe if you become a teachers, then I think you can share that theory of education. Okay, next slide, please, Brother Roy. So another thing is George counts. That means building a new social order. I think that is very, I don't know, it sounds interesting, the philosophy of George Counts. For any societal change, instrument of the school and teachers whose task for the implementation of social improvement. Teachers are called to make change in the area of economics, politics, morality to avoid failure. Furthermore, school ought to provide education that afford equal learning opportunities to all students. And that is partly according to Orstein 1984. So what is your reaction with this philosophy of George Counts? That means basically, to sum up, that is a building a new social order. So what is your reaction with this? Yes, Sister Helen. Any idea?
I agree with this, sir. The education
Yes, Brother Roy.
the education should gear towards raising up the students to become a good citizen in the society. Then just sometimes we, even though how much knowledgeable a person is, how much educated, if they are not productive as as member of the society, it doesn't help in building a new social order or a better world, a better society.
Yes, yes. No? So I think George County sounds good, no? Sounds good that building a new social order that is partly an academic stand, no? That is academically sounds. So that means I think building a new social order is not only from the divine principle viewpoint or from the biblical viewpoint, is not only an in terms of those mentioned economics, politics, morality, but more than that, no? As we all know. Then, to provide education that afford equal learning opportunities to all the students. And that's true, no? That is the reason that according to the slogan, nobody should left behind, no? And I think that is very sounds familiar, no? Nobody should left behind. Okay, another sharing? Some more? Okay, let's proceed with Theodore Branel, 1904 to 1987. That is social reconstruction, no? That means more or less that is true education, social reconstruction. Like John Dewey and George Counts, social reconstruction are convinced that education is not a privilege but a right to be enjoyed by all. No? Education is not a privilege but a right to be enjoyed by all. So that means, according to Branagh, when there is an opportunity, a privilege for a right for everybody to be educated, and then it will follow a social reconstruction. But there is no definite, no definite idea of Theodore Branagh. What is that? What will be the end result of that social reconstruction? But according to his philosophy, that means the right, no, the right to have knowledge and the right studying and enjoying. So another idea?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Sister Helen, go ahead.
Yeah, I firmly believe that these two philosophers, their ideas is truly paralleled with the goal of our two parents, that we want to reconstruct our society and the world. So without proper education, how can we reconstruct our society? So this opportunity that we have now to be educated is really a God-given opportunity for all of us. Because who will take care of the world? Why true parent had called us? So this is these two philosophers really their idea uh, parallel to our true parents' idea. So thank you so much for having this chance that we can receive this education. Thank you.
Yes, okay. So I think what is lacking by George Counts and Theodore Branagh is the idea behind the divine principle, behind the biblical viewpoint, no? So that is the building of the kingdom of heaven, where God is the sovereign ruler, no? Of course. And then, according to these two philosophers, that can be through education, no? Okay,
Yeah.
another? Some more from the others?
I think, sir, to conclude the idea po is uh, school should have no discrimination whether you are rich or you are poor. We have that equal right for education. Yan lang po, sir.
Yes, okay. So that is true. That is the reason the Department of Education has also that we call inclusive education. So when we say inclusive education, that means if you have a character disability, mental disability, physical disability, academic disability, that will not be a hindrance, no? A hindrance for you to learn. That means the Department of Education must accommodate all those kind of people with physical disability, mental disability, character disability, no, and so on and so forth. Okay, so next slide, please, Brother Roy? So another theory is the symbolic interaction theory perspective. There are three tenets of symbolic interaction theory. Individual action depends on memory. Different people may give different meanings to the same thing. Meaning changes and individual interact with one another. So what is your view? What is your point of view with regards to this another philosophy, the symbolic interactionist theory?
Hello, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Uh, I think because we have different levels of spirituality and intellectuality, that's why there is this like this situation. So, example in the Bible, Bible is composed of parables and symbols, metaphors. So, because we have, as what I've said, because we have these different levels of spirituality and intellectuality, on that particular verse, many interpretations will come out. So that's why we can see now Bible in Christianity alone, there are 45,000 denominations. So uh, that's my point in this symbolic interactions. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Another?
Sir, good evening again.
Yes, go ahead, Sister
I
Sylvia.
think, yeah, thank you, Paul. I think the symbolic interactionist theory connotes more on the respect of an individual or different, the diversity of learning and capability to acquire knowledge, maybe in a way, of every from both teacher and students. This is more, this implicates to this aspect. I think so, more on the respect of each other's capability to learn and to unlearn. I think so. This theory is talking about.
Okay, thank you. Okay, another? So let us dissect this. So according to number one statement, individual action depends on memory. No? And I think there is argument, no, that knowledge comes from understanding, not more on memorization. But actually, no, then what is your idea about this? Should we abolish memorization?
Not necessarily, sir.
Yes, Sylvia.
Not
Uh,
necessarily, sir, because it is through our memories can we be able to relate from the past and somehow be able to have a more constructive perspective for the future. I think so. So this doesn't have to be abolished. Memorization
Yeah.
is.
Okay, some more idea? So another, this one, let us give meaning again. Different people may give different meanings to the same thing. So what is your reaction with this? Different people may give different meanings to the same thing. If it is true, how? If it is not, why?
Can I share, sir, with regard to your sharing?
Yes,
Um,
yes. Okay, go ahead,
yeah,
Brother John.
thank you, sir. Yeah, that's true for me because different people may give different meaning to something because not all of us have creativity. So we have different levels of creativity and understanding. That's why we are giving like different meaning to whatsoever perspective we have. So it depends on the level of creativity.
Yes,
Thank you, sir.
okay, thank you, Brother John. And then another thing, meaning changes and individual interact with one another. So how do you consider this statement? Meaning changes as an individual interact with one another. So that means if
May I answer, sir?
yes. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, this is true because at some point, maybe, for example, I came from the countryside. I have a smaller perspective into something. However, when I have to get out from my comfort zone and maybe be able to experience our situation, meaning of a thing or understanding will definitely be changed. And according to the circumstance or situation, sir Paul.
Yes, okay. Some more? Okay, next slides, please. Oh, okay, okay. So, shall we go back to the previous slides? So, I think from this, on this course 203, we have discussed the different kinds of philosophical education, no? From John Locke to Spencer, and then different kinds of theory. So that means, as a teacher, no? As a teacher, that means we need to cope up with these different kinds of perspective, different kinds of philosophy, and then it's up to us how we are going to digest it, use it in our course of our teaching process. So, what is your reflection with regard to different kinds of theories and philosophies? So, can I have your reflection with regard to this, to our discussion with regards to different kinds of theories?
Sir, can I have a question?
Yes, Brother Mark.
Yes, sir. Good evening. Uh, is this symbolic sa inyo po, sir, no? In your own opinion, this
Yes.
symbolic interactionist theory, dito po ba, ito po ba yung mga, pwede ba natin tong maihalin tulad sa mga like, yung mga ano po, yung mga fortune tellers that they use symbols in the cards to give a particular, anong tawag doon? Hindi naman diagnosis, ano bang term doon? Prediction. Or maybe, sir, there are studies that this symbol, they use symbol to a particular individuals or particular person. They use symbol to analyze also or to understand also yung kanilang behavior, yung kanilang attitudes, yung kanilang personalities. Like, very prominent po ito sa mga seminars kasi, like, a teacher would present to the class like a stone. So, in this stone, how do you present yourself or how do you characterize yourself pagka nakakita ka ng stone? How you compare yourself, or like you bring some objects, dalhin mo sa table, and then i-explain mo bakit napili mo ang stone, bakit mo napili ang stone at paano mo ito ma-relate sa iyong, anong tawag dyan, personality or characteristics. So, yan po ba ay isang halimbawa ng symbolic interactionist theory?
Yes, but not in your previous saying about fortune teller. So I think we can say, for example, there is beauty beyond senses. Beauty is in the eyes of beholder. Action speaks louder than words. No? So those things, that meaning to say, if you have some experience, you give meaning to the experience. No? Then based on that experiences, you interact accordingly. No? I think the proper way here is you must have an exact meaning to what's going on. No? For example, you touch your stomach. No? For example, you touch the stomach, there is many different meaning. You can say maybe a person is hungry, or maybe a person has a sickness. That's why he's holding his stomach. So basically, this one is you give meaning to everything. No, you give meaning. That is that symbolic interaction as theory. You just not jump to conclusion. Na maybe you are not just go ahead and then judge accordingly. Meaning to say, you dissect, no, you process first everything before you make your conclusion. No? For example, individual action depends on memory. That's true, no? For example, if you want to play guitar, if you memorize the different memorization is you also go with your muscles, no? Memorization comes to your brain and then it goes with your muscles, with your system. And then once your system adapt what you have memorized, for example, you are singing, then you memorize how to make an alto, you have memorize how to make a soprano, or you memorize how to manipulate your voice, and then eventually you can sing better. No, you can sing better. That means, I think, if I myself will elaborate this, that means your memorization will not only stick in your head, but it must adapt within in your muscles. No, just like in dances. First, in dancing, you have to memorize. Then once you memorize, you have to adapt it in your body system. Once your body system adapt what you have memorized, then eventually you can dance, you can sing, you can do a lot of things once your body system adapt what you have memorized. So similarly, all the knowledge, if we have apply it, adapt it, then I think it will become a habit. No, adapt it in our body. That is one time. I think that is LeBron James. At the same time, Stephen Curry. It says, "Why you are very good shooter?" Then what he said is only is practice, practice, practice. That means your memorization, it will not only stick, you must practice it. No, that's why individual action depends on memory. How can you act without memorization, without knowledge of what you're going to act? Even you are engineer, you are doctor, everything. For example, if you become a doctor, no, they are going to rent a corpse, and then they will dissect it, and then they memorize the position, everything. It should be memorized. The moment they practice their profession, that means that is automatic. Similarly, no, as a teacher in the future, if you have memorized all the subject matter that you have, no, for example, if you are a math teacher, you have memorized everything and then adapt within your body everything, even you are sleeping, you can teach. No? Sabi nga, kahit natutulog ka pa, pwede ka magturo. Why? Because you have the mastery. And mastery comes from what you have memorized and adapt. Okay? Yes? Any reaction? Yes, Brother Roy?
Totoo yan, sir. But then, sir, as na-intrigue talaga ako dito sa course description natin. The teacher and community, school culture, and organizational leadership. Parang my reflection on this is that looks like if we become a teacher, especially in religious education teacher, looks like we are doing tribal messiah nito eh. because
Yeah.
it involves parent, uh, the pillars of the society, the parents, the school, the LGU as you said kanina, and then of course religious growth as you uh, as a religious educator sample. So these four pillars of society, and its goal is to really uh, reach out or educate young people, which is the primary concern of the four pillars of the society. The parents, their concern are their children. The the religious group concern are young people. The LGO, the government, youth din ang concern. Ganon. Of course, the school. So when when we will study this, I think we will know how to do tribal messiah effectively.
Yeah. Yes, it sounds like a tribal messiah.
Tribal
When we
messiah.
say messiah, that means from a true father's perspective, messiah is a true leader, true parent, true teacher, right?
Yeah.
No?
Owner.
So that is the perspective. True
Yeah.
True
teacher, true
owner.
leader, true parents. And that is doesn't mean as a messiah. Because I think in some remote areas, no, I think one of our, I think that is Sister Elsie mentioned about going to the remote areas. So that means if you are going to the remote areas, all that perspective you will experience. Become a community leader, no? Become a teacher, become a parents, especially if your task is to educate the itas, the manobos, the damangyans, no? I think what we are going to discuss, you will experience all those things. Luckily, if you are a teacher here in the urban community. So if we are a teacher in the urban community, less, because what we are going only to prepare is to prepare our lesson plan, to prepare our behavior, to prepare our character, and then how to adapt ourselves with our learners. Yes, Sister Helen, you have something to share more?
Itong ano sir, there are three tenets of symbolic interactionist theory. Hindi ko mag-get ito. Ano ibig sabihin nito?
So when we say symbolic interactionist theory, that means you give meaning to your experience, no? And then based on your experience, you will not judge right away. That is the reason na symbolic interactionist theory. That means you just not come judge right away, no? You give meaning first. You process first. Parang when you say it is the truth, are you familiar with that with that signage in the wall? It is the truth. How do you call that? I think that is for it. No? If it's the truth, like this and like this, no? So that meaning to say, you first, I think the meaning here is you give meaning first, no? To everything that you do before you just come, before you process, before you interact.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
in
you.
other words, your interaction must have meaning, no? For example, as a teacher, when you stand up in front of your class, that means your motivation behind your action, they must learn. Whether they like it or not, they must learn. Hindi ako lalabas ng kwartong ito na hindi sila natututo.
Okay.
Yes, another thing.
Sir Rudy, mag-reflect po ako.
Yes, okay, go ahead. Brother Mark.
Yes, sir. I'd like what you said. Must we need to memorize, and what we memorize, we adopt, and that equals to mastery. Yan po yung ano ko sa inyo kanina.
Yes, yes, go ahead.
Mastery plus combined with experience. Tapos, ito pong cycle na to, mauulit sa mga estudyante, supposed to be, sa family, sa community, kung saan man. So, it will repeat its process. So, genius, and it's so genius for True Father to incorporate this po sa ating holistic study of divine principle, that we study first the divine principle, and in order to adopt what we've learned, we enter into like full-time or missionary works or application ng theory na natutunan sa divine principle. And after that, in the future, we become elders, we become mentors, we become also lecturers, because we now gain the mastery, hindi naman po mastery, but sabihin na lang natin too much familiarity of the divine principle, because if we master divine principle, then we fulfill the first blessing, which is we perfect our character.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
yan po yung reflection ko, to apply this symbolic interactionist. So kalimutan ko yung question ko. Ayun. So yun po yung na-realize ko dito. So, okay. Ito po yung question ko. Yung we give meanings based doon po sa ina-actualize ng isang individual. So we pause first, and then we muna understand before we judge, provide our answers dun po sa action. Like kung hawakan yung kamay, depende yon, either busog siya or masakit ang tiyan. Okay. Ang tanong ko po, saan po nanggaling yung konsepto naman ng tao na we intend to judge bago natin intindihin? Opo. Kasi ito dapat yung natututunan ng estudyante, na to avoid conflict, na wag muna tayo mag-judge, sandali muna, intindihin muna natin yung actuation ng isang tao bago tayo mag-judge. Kaya lang po kasi, may maraming tao na, tinaas yung kamay, akala mag-recite, yung pala, mag-excuse, iihi. Ganun po eh. So, saan mo ba nanggaling itong itong konsepto ng tao na to, sir?
Personally, as I learn, no, I think that's more on first, when you are playing you as a judge, that means you become self-righteous, no? When you intend na you are all knowing, all perfect, everything is you, no? You have the mastery of everything. That means you intend to become judgmental. So that's one thing, meaning that is byproduct of our heart and our mind. That means the condition of our heart and mind now proceed who we are. And that's the reason that we have to guard our heart. Because accordingly, from the biblical perspective, our heart is deceitful. No? For example, when we are heart, we intend to shout. No? When we are feeling something, when we are envy, we intend to judge others. So that means, I think that is more on knowing who we are. If we know that, for example, oh, I'm better than you, then my intention is I will judge you. No? But that comes from self-righteousness, in short. Do I answer your or you have some other idea?
Magaling, sir. Oo nga naman. Okay. Sir, second question. Yung pong mga theory kanina, kasi napansin ko po, sir, no, nag-evolve siya depende sa era depende sa time frame ng humanity. Meron po ba tayong pag-aaral, sir? Like, anong theory naman ang mag-exist or mag-exist or nag-exist ngayon sa era po natin ngayon? Kasi baka may changes, baka may bagong philosophers naman na okay, on this era, iba na ang theory of learning naman. Kasi like ano po sir we are napapalibutan po tayo ng mga Generation Z. And based on studies, iba po ang style ng mga Generation Z naman. Most especially on learning something. Kaya nga po may bata na kung saan nanonood lang ng YouTube, dahil sa English lahat ang napapanood, nagugulat na lang ang parents na ang first language ng
Yes,
bata ay English.
yes,
So,
yes, yes.
hindi ko, tanong ko lang sir, baka po mayroon po tayong pag-aaral ngayon na itatackle natin yung baka may bagong teorya ng isang philosopher sa era po.
I think so. Accordingly, no, based on divine principles, no, in divine principle perspective, of course, there must be another theory or holistic theory. That means when we talk about holistic theory, that means that is a package. Everything it will deals with the heart, mind, no, with the heart, mind, and character of the people. So accordingly, no, in our movement, no, we have the theory of education. The theory of education, that means we have to educate the mind, the heart, no. Accordingly, it says educating the mind without the educating the heart, that means that is not education at all. So that means I think we need to adapt. No, we need to adapt. But how can we adapt it? That is a question mark, because we are not there on the upper stage. No, we are not congressmen. We are not senators. We are not in the executive position to influence. No, to influence. So just like now, no. For example, we have the K to 12 curriculum. So now we have the Sara Duterte entered the Department of Education, and then says, "Oh, this is the matatag curriculum. This is the needs." No, but this is the need. Partly it will answer, but how to integrate, that is the questions. How to integrate it with the daily educational teaching and process. No, for example, the core values. No, the core values makabayan. So when we speak about makabayan, that means we have the pambansang awit, we have the panatang makabayan, we have the panunumpa sa watawat, no? We have the Calabarzon March. So all those things, no, we must examine within the context of being makabayan. But when we see the teachers are not following, no? When there is makabayan march, no teachers are doing the makabayan march. No, for example, they are staying in their rooms. So how can we adapt that? How can we integrate when our action speak louder than words? That means when we speak about the makabayan, that means within us, I think the best example is our action. No, the best example is our action. Just like, for example, when we say, "Oh, my son is like this. How come that my son is like this?" Then they copy it, maybe from us, maybe from neighbors, maybe from other people. That means example is very important. That means there must be a holistic theory that will really address. We have so many problems, no, not only in our society but also in the education system. We have a problem, and then how to address it is another story. And I hope, no, I hope most of us here, no, once you finish your course as a as a teacher, no, you can be a philosopher, you can make a research, no, you can make a research that will address our present problem, no, our present problem. Because, for example, matatag na kabataan, pero there is some laws naman that prohibit the teacher to discipline the pupil. If you touch the children, that will constitute child abuse. If you say something with the children, that will also constitute child abuse. So that is a problem. And sometimes the children, no, the learners, no, hold on to it. They will say, okay ma'am, sige, gawin niyo ma'am yan, nang kayo'y makasuhan. No? So I think that's another thing. That's really a problem. So that means a problem must not only answer the teacher's needs, but also the parents' needs, the society needs. Everybody needs something na talaga na we can apply. So to speak, if we can apply the divine principle, so why not? I think that somehow it will address a lot of problems, no? Theoretically, no? Then that will answer. Okay? And sooner there must be a holistic theory, not only for education but also the four corners of our society. Okay, so I think that is my personal answer with you. Yes, Brother Roy?
Ah, parang I agree with you lang, sir.
So some an additional reflection from the rest?
Sir, ano po kaya reason bakit itong mga teachers hindi ina-apply yung mga itinuturo sa kanila, mga napag-aaralan nila, like pagiging makabayan? Are they not that passionate to be a teacher? Kasi po, being a teacher, dapat always, every day, has this mindset that they need to transform students or pupils. Well, alam po natin na maraming factors yan, but if a particular teacher will stay on it on their passion, on their core principle, na kaya sila bumabangon, kaya sila nagtuturo para mag-transform yung mga estudyante. Pero here comes the theory of makabayan, pero hindi naman talaga nila ginagawa. So, in relation po with the divine principle, then we see chapter 2, then we do not do chapter 2 because we do chapter 2, it's a violation, it's a great violation of God's principle, then the teaching of divine principle will not be very effective na. So parang ano po yun blanket na ruling po natin yan. Pero pagdating kasi sa education, like there's always a consideration, but parang okay lang kung hindi kung sabihin ko na makabayan ako, hindi ko gagawin as a teacher, pwedeng i-consider. Okay. Pero pagdating po sa principle, no, it's a black and white that when we go to blessing, we have conditions. Hindi pwedeng magpunta ng blessing kung hindi magko-conditions. So perfect ano po talaga yung principle natin. So siguro po as a legislator or executive, baguhin siguro yung qualification ng teachers na there should be a qualification of being passionate in teaching, not only enrolling to particular education courses and then magturo, magsweldo. So no wonder mag-decline po yung result ng education ng mga bata. Opo. Kasi lalo na kung ang goal ay magturo lang, pero kasi po when you teach, no, when you teach, passionately teach yung course, yung profession mo o yung field of expertise mo, you do everything para matutunan o maintindihan ng mga estudyante. Ako, that's been my practice and alam ko po sa ating lahat dito, yun din po yung practice. So, sa inyo po, sir, may mga faculty members po ba kayo or teachers po kayo na na-observe that they just go to school to teach, wait for their salaries, and then okay na. So, yeah, might be part of it po yan, siguro, sir. Wala po ako sa academe, na parang mababago. Part po yan na para mabago po, mabago at para magkaroon ng domino effect sa mga estudyante po natin.
Okay,
Pasensya na.
so first and foremost, dun sa with regards to salary, no? Yung mga nasa private, they go to public school. And one thing for sure is, to be frank, is security of tenure. So that means, hindi ka basta-basta pwedeng maalis, tapos maganda yung trabaho. Lahat ng legal, no? Legal benefits ay naroon if you are a teacher. Then of course, when we speak about, I think sa naobserbahan ko naman, lahat ng mga kasama ko ay ang dedicated sa pagtuturo. Yun nga lang siguro na merong lang clause na overlook lang yung core values, no? Na overlook lang, no? Siguro I cannot answer para sa kanila, no? I cannot answer para sa kanila kung bakit sila ganoon. Siguro I can make a survey. Siguro magsa-survey ako indirectly na, uy, bakit hindi ka nagpapanatang mga bayan? Uy, bakit hindi ka nagkakalabarsa? No? So I can make a survey para to be real. So what is the reason behind? Ang implication ko lang dyan na my point of view lang that is it might be sent a signal to the students. No? Ay, si ma'am hindi pala. For example, katulad niyan, sa pag-susuot na lang ng ID, ilan ko lang napapansin. Actually, I'm a head teacher. Hindi ko sinisita. Basta kung ano yung pagiging teacher, yun ang ginagawa ko. I have to wear my IDs every now and then. Then I have to wear my uniforms. Then I have to attend with my duties and responsibility religiously. So, mabibilang ko lang sa daliri na makikita mo doon na na makikita mo daw kung sino talaga. I think patapos ang ano pa diyan, ang complication pa yan. The complication is when they are telling to the pupil, bakit wala kang ID? Pero ikaw hindi nakasuot ng ID. No? So what will be the feeling? So in short, I think that also speak on the DP that each of us a portion of responsibility. No? So that means we need to play our role the best way we can. That means we should be the best actor, best actresses of our own role. Kung tayo ay teacher, we must be a best actor, best actress as a teacher. If we are a blogger, we must be a best blogger as we are. No? But this how? By means of portion of responsibility. I think the key is everybody should exercise their portion of responsibility. From the janitor down to president. Now, halimbawa, if we say President Marcos is good, but the legislator, the executive branches, the executive departments are not doing good, so that would reflect. No? For example, President Marcos wanted the 20 pesos rice, but this Department of Agriculture secretaries or other, they don't want to do it. For example, yung mga holders, yung mga rice holders, gumagawa sila ng mga techniques, no? In order to jeopardize or sabotage yung goal ng government. I think that's another thing. So in short, we have to play our portion of responsibility. Well.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Some more? Some more reflection?
Hello, sir.
Yes,
Hello.
yes, Brother Julius. Go ahead.
Okay. So for me, I would take this based on somehow principle. So, human beings are composed of two aspects, internal and external. So it should be addressed also internally, externally. So education now is more on external. So we should also have internal education, just like religious education. So in school, it should be having like that. Because without that, we cannot really say why these teachers are not like practicing those bylaws and guidelines because they don't have that kind of education. So for me, if I have I'm a teacher, I'm school principal, there should be allotted subject solely for education, religious education. So not only in school, if we talk about social uh, revolution or something, also it includes in the government. There is also uh, religious sites that educates these politicians so that they can bring about laws that are to people. So not only that, their service is not just lip service, but truly service uh, straight from the heart. So my point is we have to include religious education, but problem is we have many denomination or something. So as what you've said, we have to really play our role in this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Brother Julius. Okay, some more?
Ako
Yes,
po,
sir, I
sir.
want to share.
Ay,
Yes,
sorry
yes,
po.
go ahead.
Sorry, sorry. Okay, go ahead, go ahead. I'll be next.
Oh, sige ate. Salamat po.
Okay.
Salamat po. Reflection po, sir, dun sa ating buong discussion. As aspiring teachers, um, it is very essential for us to know all this philosophical theories. It's really good to have all this as a stepping stone for us to acquire and equip our sufficient knowledge and equip ourselves to become a more efficient global communicator. I think, and as we say, term it, I would like to term it like the ethical change carrier to the world, being a unificationist, and most of all, as teachers, social gusto kong, ano daw ba, siguro, I don't know if this exists, pero social reconstructionists, kailangan po natin lahat itong mga theological philosophies para pa magiging holistic po yung approach in addition to the current, yung know-how natin sa principle. Somehow, it has become, para sa akin, kasi everything is new, parang magdahan-dahan na pong ma-collaborate and hopefully mas sturdy po yung basis natin in order for us to demonstrate kung paano natin carry out yung professional natin obligation in the future as teachers, tapos in accordance to the ethics and norms na applicable and really in the proper need of the current era. And then, doon, gusto kong i-quote po yung sinabi ni Sir na baka magiging future, one of these people here will become future philosophers. So parang again, connection doon sa sinasabi ni Sir Mark na para makasulat tayo, makapresent tayo ng more constructive paperworks na appropriate po sa pangangailangan po ng kasalukuyan. In that, this particular undertaking, itong ating klase na ito ngayon is really very useful po to me. Very, very useful. And hopefully, hindi lang po tayo hanggang pag-aaral, but we will be able to convey this to our future class and even to our own families because we know that we should be, sabi nga, gusto ko din ikot yung sinabi ni Kuya Roy, na we might become an effective tribal messiah na in our respective areas and tribes, tayo naman po talaga yung totoong dapat lang magiging teacher, totoong owner, totoong parent po sa komunidad kung saan tayo nabubuhay. So, yeah, yun lang po yung reflection ko, sir. Everything that we learn is just but equally important po para po in addition to our know-how and aspiration na magiging, yun nga, ulitin ko, parang social reconstructionist, global communicator, and efficient na mga change carrier po sa mundo. At sa syempre, which would start from our respective families. Individual muna hanggang sa families and tribes. Yun po.
Nawala man si Sir. Andito pala. Yung isa. Good evening, Sir Rudy. Hello, Sylvia.
Hello po, Kuya.
Kamusta ang Cagayan?
Surviving po.
Nawala si Sir Rodi.
Yung isa niyang account andito pero I think yung ginagamit niya baka naubusan ng battery. No-off. Andito na siya.
Baka ng battery.
Pumasok na ulit. Good evening, sir.
Nalobat yata si sir.
Nag-charge pa.
Okay, do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Ima.
Yes,
Yes,
po.
okay. So, nag-drop yung isang ano. So, I think that's ends up our discussion about the juries, different kinds of juries. Then next meeting, we will tackle again the different juries again, and also with regards to our teaching profession. But at that time, perhaps we will have an 15-item quiz on next meeting, no? So be prepared for our 15 items quiz on the theory on the teaching profession, not with this one, no? These 2 or 3. Okay? So any additional?
Sir, anong cover ng quiz? Yung ngayon lang po o yung nakaraan yung last?
Yung last, yung theory of yung teaching profession. 202.
202. 202 and
Yes, 202,
203,
the
sir.
teaching profession. Now we are in 203, no? The teacher and the community and school
Teaching profession.
culture.
Apo.
So
Teaching
Tuesday yun, sir. Tuesday
Yes,
yung
Tuesday.
Tapos paanong quiz niyan, sir? Verbal or written? Ano ba? Submission? Individual?
Written but online.
So individual siya, yung
Individual.
Okay.
Now, I will pose question and then you will answer. Maybe around a few minutes only, maybe 30 minutes, like that.
Paano, sir, kasi ako, next week I'm evening time yung trabaho ko kaya hindi ako makasabi. Pwede ba assignment?
Maybe ano na lang, we will take it as a take-home test, no? Take-home test and then you can submit on next meeting.
Okay. That would be
That is more on understanding, sir.
Yes. Okay,
More
that sounds
understanding.
good.
Yes, sir.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
So take-home test and then we will check on I will check on the proper time, no? Take-home test ang gagawin natin. Okay?
Yes, yes.
Parang mas mahirap yung take. Mas mahirap yung take home test.
Yes.
Okay. Walang kopyahan to, ha.
Yes.
Open notes.
Digital kopyahan.
Sir Rudy, yung mga previous meetings mo ninyo, may mga PowerPoint din?
Meron rin. Maybe Brother Roy, can you, yes, I will send. I will send the PowerPoint. No, the
Nasend ko
PowerPoint.
yun doon.
No?
Ay, nasa GC, kuya?
I will repost the PowerPoint.
Sige po, sir. From the beginning.
This recording,
Yes.
post ko mamaya.
From the top.
Yes, from the top. I will repost from the top.
Sige po.
Okay, so can we open our camera? So we have our picture taking.
Please open your camera. I'll take picture. Okay. Jadi, 1, 2. Ay, one more. Ini sang. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Night, everyone.
Ingat.
Good night.